Welcome to video number 15 of the Chronicles of Liberty series. Tonight we're going to talk about Samuel Adams, one of my, if not my favorite, characters of the American Revolution, and probably second only to, in the cause of liberty, Captain Moroni, as discussed back in video number 7, I believe. Anyway, Samuel Adams, probably one of the most controversial leaders of the American Revolution, especially with regards to leading up to the American Revolution. So he was known by most historians as a very radical character, and we'll get into that. Samuel Adams was born September of 1722 in Boston, Massachusetts, to Samuel Adams Sr. and Mary Fifield. He was one of 12 children and a very devout Puritan family. His family, in fact, wanted him and put him in an educational process and a sequence to hope that he would continue on in the ministry as his father had been in the Puritan religion. Samuel Adams grew very strong in the values of virtue and freedom, and that led him to much of what we see today. His master's thesis from Harvard University discussed and argued that it was lawful to resist the supreme magistrate. In fact, his political leanings early on were very much in favor of the colonists' rights. So we understand all of this came from a very early age, that of freedom. And it made him into the warrior of freedom that he was renowned for. And Thomas Jefferson said of Samuel, he was truly the man of the Revolution. And as he entered the political arena in the late 1740s, so in his early 20s actually, as the British historians put it, he was a master propagandist and an incendiary troublemaker. A couple of good things to be remembered for, and especially if it's from the enemy. And that's good. His passion over the following 50 years could be summarized by the statement, "The liberties of our country, the freedom of our civil constitution are worth defending at all hazards. And it is our duty to defend them against all attacks." Samuel Adams was heavily influenced by John Locke's essays, The Second Treatise of Government, and he often warned that New England could fall like the Romans did by virtue of sin and not following in the ways to protect them and receive God's blessings. He was pretty much on the money. I mean, if you look at the New England states right now, it's I don't know that you're going to find many values. So that's just something for my own personal opinion. In his final years following the Revolution, he continued to promote virtue and liberty. He supported the Jeffersonian Republicans, as he was always watching and on the lookout for encroaching, those from the Federalists that were encroaching and trying to get more power. He was a rabid defender of rights and liberty. He was memorialized by, to me, two statements as I've studied his life. One, he was the last of the Puritans. That's a pretty good thing to be known for. And two, he was the father of the Revolution. Also something to be good for. I want to conclude with reading one of his final essays. And you've heard it in one of my other videos, but I think it's important. "When the spirit of liberty, which now animates our hearts and gives success to our arms, is extinct, our numbers will accelerate our ruin and render us easier victims to tyranny. Ye abandoned minions of an infatuated ministry, if peradventure any should remain among us, remember that Warren and Montgomery are numbered among the dead. Contemplate the mangled bodies of your countrymen, and then say, what should be the reward of such sacrifices? Bid us and our posterity bow the knee, supplicate the friendship, and plow, and sow, and reap, to glut the avarice of the men who have let loose on us the dogs of war, to riot in our blood and hunt us from the face of the earth. If you love wealth better than liberty, the tranquility of servitude than the animating contest of freedom, go from us in peace. We ask not your counsels of arms. Crouch down and lick the hands which feed you. May your chains sit lightly upon you, and may posterity forget that you were our countrymen. Samuel Adams has been one of my favorite revolutionaries, and he was outspoken, colorful, and full of determination and belief. He motivated thousands to rise up and defend their natural rights. And he was, to me, a great patriot, lover of liberty, staunch protector of virtue. He believed that the American colonists did have the right to rule themselves. And he made sure that it happened, no matter the cost. And that was the great thing about Samuel Adams. His conviction was absolute. I would have loved to have known the man. He and I would have been good friends. And I just want to leave that with you. Just a brief snippet of Samuel Adams, the father of the revolution. Jus meum tabor.